Okay. Hi guys. So sorry about yesterday. I had a migraine like none other. So I just decided to kind of take the day off. I'm feeling a little bit better. The weather's changing here. Still got that smoke, I think, from Canada. Um, so we are going to do the episodes 5 and 6 today because we did episodes 1 through 4 the other day, and so this should not be as long as the one that I did the other day. I think it was Tuesday. Sorry, just kind of getting my back together. So as always, hi co-host. So as always, the We're Not Done Yet podcast. See the circle channel and no escape in the cul-de-sac will be linked in the description box below. If you need the hold on, let me see. I thought there was a way. Hold on. Um, just, just bear with me. I'm just trying to figure this out. Okay. Is there a way that I can add? Okay. So if you need to close captions, you're more than welcome to come back after. Because right now the captions are not on. And then also you come back, you see it, you're gonna click on where it says CC. You should be able to click on that if you have like Okay, can you hear me? Okay. So as I was saying, if you come back with the sorry about that, I got kicked off. If you come back with the for the closed caption, there's like a little closed caption button at the top of your screen that you can click, or you can click on your settings and choose closed caption at that point. I'm not exactly sure how long after the stream is uploaded to YouTube that is available. I was checking on it a little bit yesterday. Let me see if the one I did yesterday that has it. Yeah or not. Okay. Yes. So the one that I did yesterday or the day before has the closed captions on it. So you should be able to click that closed caption and they should be there for you. Alright. So now, and again, just in case you missed it, the We're Not Done Yet podcast, circle, and the no escaping the cul-de-sac will be linked down below. I have to be careful because I want to say escaping polygamy, but that's a totally different show, and I'm not talking about reality TV. Although the cul-de-sac could have been their first housewives. Oh my gosh. So no escaping the cul-de-sac. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. I think you all can hear me now. Oh, hold on. Okay, can you hear me? I think you can hear me now. Okay, so as I was saying, the CG Circle, the We're Not Done Yet podcast, and No Escaping the Cul-de-sac will be linked below. Don't forget to do the YouTube thing, like, share, subscribe, comment. If you're in the chat, please chat. Would love to hear from you. And then again with the closed captions, don't forget once the video is uploaded, I don't know how long it takes for the closed captions to become available, but you should be able to click on them and all that good stuff. So, like I was saying in the beginning of the stream, we are going to do season 4, episodes 5 and 6. And this is the culmination of the auto parts as well as Val going on tour in episode 6. So we're gonna get right down into it. So episode 5 is called Catharsis, and the very first scene we see that Karen gets a phone call from Wayne about the auto parts deal. So basically, the deal is supposed to go down today, and this whole episode is in one day, which I think is pretty cool. I never knew that. I never thought about that, how it's all in one day. Whereas other episodes would be like span of a couple of days or a week or so, but this is all in one day. Um, and that she needs to come in with the check today, and she tells Wayne that she will go to the bank. Karen, okay, I want to say, I put this down. Karen is happy about it, but what I mean by happy is like her plan is coming together. Like, this is something that she's been waiting for. The next thing we see that Lynn and Marshall talk about how the deal is going down, and Marshall is still concerned about Angelo, so he's worried that he got himself into a lot of trouble by going in on this deal with Frank Lloyd and Wayne. However, he may want out of it. Then next we see that Gary gets woken up by a telegram. From Dallas, indicating that Jack's will is finally going to be read in a few days. And I want to say something. So, before I went live, someone on YouTube just posted something and saying that today marks 46 years that the episode of, or the whole thing about Who Shot JR came about. So I think that that's really ironic how, like, Who Shot JR was around 46 years ago today. That's interesting. So Jack's will is going to be read. Next we see Joe is still staying at Karen, so he hasn't left yet. And he sees that Karen has not left yet for work, and sees paperwork on her kitchen table and realizes what is going on. He offers to go to the bank for her, however Karen says no and tells him everything will be fine. So Joe already knows kind of what's going down, and he's like, okay, I'll help you out, I'll do whatever I need to do. However, she doesn't want his help. Next we see Abby goes to Gary's and finds a telegram while he is not home, and she's happy about it. Next we see that Richard is at Daniels, and Laura comes in and asks about the appointment with the psychiatrist, and we find out that Richard has not been to see his psychiatrist in a long time, and he lies to Laura. However, she asks when he last saw her, and Richard tells her that, he's not going to have a nervous breakdown because he's doing something that he loves. So therefore, he shouldn't, he's not going to break down. Um, and, and it makes Laura feel uneasy with the fact that he hasn't been to see a psychiatrist. Next we see Karen leaving the bank, and she is still being followed. Val is getting ready to go on tour, and Lilliemae wants to go with her, but Val does not want her to at the time, and she wants time by herself. So, with everything going on, she just wants to be by herself, get away, and she just, we all need that sometimes, right? Next, we see that Gary comes by the house to tell her about the will, and she tells him to leave and that she is no longer a member of the family. So Gary's thing is his family loves Val. However, it sounds like it was just Jack and Miss Ellie and Bobby and Kim. However, not everyone else, like the big wigs of that's in the house right now. Um, and Val wants nothing to do with him or his family. Karen is at knotslanding and asks to see Wayne in her office. Karen has the check and is nervous about it. Wayne comes in to see her and scares her. She said that she was lost in her own thoughts, and Karen gives him the check. So basically, even though she's excited about this plan, she's still nervous about it. And Wayne says it's a big day, and Karen agrees, and she's still nervous. Next, we see that Joe is at Mac's office talking about Karen and Wayne. Joe tells him that whatever is going down is going to go down today, and the fact that Joe saw that she was gonna withdraw a whole bunch of money, and Mac asked Joe if he ever talked um, Karen out of something she had her mind set on. Joe said that she was touchy testy today, and Joe asked Mac not to let her be alone on the day that she puts her life on the line. So again, I think this is why it is a 1 day episode, because there's a lot to unpack here with the auto parts and with getting these people. Um, Marshall tells Wayne that they can't put the parts on the truck during the day to it being laid out. Frank and Roy tells him to do the job quietly and encourages Wayne to listen to Marshall. Gary comes home and puts a telegram in his pocket. Next to see Kenny and Ginger is listening to Susie's tape, and Ginger is frustrated about how much time he is listening to the tape and threatens, I thought this was funny, and threatens to turn it into spaghetti. So basically, he's playing it so much that she's frustrated. It's almost like she's thinking it's almost going back to Sylvie. However, that's not it at all. Karen called Mac's office and left a message for him to call her. Gary is still listening to the tape, and Abby comes to his house. She is expecting him to tell her about the telegram, and he doesn't. Karen goes to look for something, and Wayne scared her, so this is in the back room. Wayne tells her that he will log in the parts when they come in at night. So basically, this is when Wayne tells her the plans have changed and that they're going to do it at night instead of during the day. Karen leaves the dealership. Joe showed up as she was leaving, and again she's being followed, and this time she knows it. Joe goes after her, and Karen ends up at Mac's office and tells him that she's being followed and scared Mac. However, it is the guy that Mac hired to follow her to make sure that, Karen didn't do anything stupid. And then when he tells her, Karen punches him in the stomach and it hurt her hand, and she goes, I just wanted to know that it worked out. And she goes, well, I know that now because she did give him a good punch. She really hurt her hand. Gary and Abby are in bed. And I said, when are they not in bed? LOL. They are talking about secrets, and Abby is still wanting him to tell her about the telegram, and he still isn't. Karen and Mac are talking about the auto parts deal. Mac asked her what she was going to do, and she was hoping that Mac would be there to help her. However, she didn't realize, or maybe she did realize, that this is entrapment, and entrapment is illegal. And if they find out that Karen wanted Mac to help her, Mac could be in a lot of trouble. and then the whole case could be thrown out. So, and that's where we're at with that, and we'll get into that in a little bit. Kenny and Ginger are talking about tonight and him not playing with the baby when he came home for lunch. Ginger asked Kenny about her career, and then they kind of play fight. So, I guess they have an agreement that when the baby turns 3, then they'll work on her career. But the whole thing of it is that he's so involved with Suji right now that he is wanting to work with only her. He doesn't want to be romantically involved, but he just wants to help Suji with her career. Abby is upset that Gary has not told him yet about the telegram. So Gary is just trying to, and they kind of fight about it. And then he finally tells her, like, no, I don't know what's in the will. I don't know what I'm going to walk away with if I'm getting anything. And that scares him because, he is kind of like, he sees himself, and JR helps him to see himself as the black sheep of the family. So therefore, he's not sure what his dad left him in his will. So they talk about it, and Gary tells Abby how he really feels. Joe, Karen, and Mac are now talking about the auto parts deal in Mac's office, and Mac is questioning Karen like she is under investigation. Mac tells Karen what happens now. Karen feels bad about putting him in this situation, like, oh, I didn't even think about that. However, I think she knew what she was doing all the time. So what do you think, Carlos? Do you think that Mac, or do you think that Karen knew what she was doing this whole time? Let me know. Mac tells Karen, Mac and Joe sends Karen home and tells her to get ready and go to the restaurant and then meet her there. Mac pushes, and she keeps on talking, and Mac pushes her out of his office. Richard is getting ready for the big night, and he is nervous. Joe and Mac are in Mac's office, and they are trying to come up with a plan, and he calls in a favor to another cop. And they leave the office, and they go to the party at Daniel's. Mac tells Joe to think about what he's doing. Like, he basically called his cop who went to go talk to his informant, who his informant told Angelo what's going down, and then Angelo shows up at the dealership, and we'll get there. Richard, and then Abby, Gary, Ginger, Kenny, and Suji are at Daniel's. Val, Karen, Mac, and Joe are not there yet. However, I don't think Val was gonna go. So they were just really waiting on Karen, Mac, and Joe. Richard brings out the meal, and everyone is impressed. And then we see that the parts are being delivered at knotslanding. Motors, and Karen is watching. She sees them all go inside the storeroom, and Karen goes in, I guess, to like the dealership part to kind of hide. Joe and Mac are at Daniel's, and Richard asked him about Karen. However, they didn't hear him at first. And then I thought this is cute. Abby says Karen's Mac, and Mac goes, I'm trying to, which is kind of like a little future thing. They find out that Karen hadn't arrived yet. And then next we see that Frank and Roy pretend to leave, and Karen goes into the storage room and tells Wayne that she wants her money back, and she knows that these parts are stolen. She wants them out of knotslanding and she wants her money back. Frank and Roy show up and say, well, what do you think is going to happen? Wayne is going to ask for the money back and then you're just going to get it? And they're like, that's not how it works, baby. So they take Karen by the arm and walk her out into the garage part as Angelo shows up. And so Angelo is showing up because of his informant. His informant told him about the deal that was going down, so he was going to go after Franklin Roy. Joe and Mac show up and he actually sends Angelo home. Joe gets Franklin Roy and Mac tells Franklin Roy and Wayne to leave. And Wayne confesses, however, there was no arrest. I don't think. And so Joe and Karen go into the showroom, and Joe asks Karen how she's feeling, and she says that she doesn't know how she's feeling because she just is not sure of it. And then what she tells him is that she's thinking that she hasn't eaten all day. So again, this is another way that we know that this episode is all in one day. And then the very last thing, Karen is eating at Daniel's, and Joe realizes that Karen had it all figured out, and he says she dated Wayne, Frank, Roy, and Mac, and Joe, and they all took it. And then Karen is eating at Daniel's. Oh, and then everyone is looking at Karen, so they're like, oh boy, what did she do? So co-host, can you hear me? Did you hear me ask like what you thought about if Karen had it planned all along and if she knew what was going on? I'm gonna go ahead and get some clips ready. Hold on, let me get to that. Alright. I'm gonna play this clip because I'm kind of gonna play these clips a little bit in order. So here we go. And again, this is in accordance to YouTube's fair use policy. Hold on. This is in accordance with YouTube's fair use policy.
Hello? Miss Fairgate, it's Wayne. I didn't wake you, did I? No, Wayne.
So I'm just playing this clip to kind of set the stage for the other clips that I'm playing. So again, this is in accordance with YouTube's fair use policy.
Is there a problem? No, ma'am. Just I heard from the supplier this morning. Our part shipment's coming in today. Wonderful. Yeah, that's why I wanted to catch you at home. In case you want to stop at the bank on the way in. To get a certified check, that's a good idea.
A certified check. I thought she was going to give them cash. But I guess a certified check is good. Oh, hold on. Hello, co-host. Alright, this is in okay. Alright, you just okay. Alright, this is in so again, I thought she was just gonna get cash out, but she ended up getting the check. And again, this is in accordance with YouTube service policy.
Well, what time is the shipment coming in? This afternoon's all they said. Well, I'll see you later with the check. Yes, ma'am. Bye, Wayne. Thanks.
So she kind of said that sarcastically, like, "Oh, I got you, buddy." Hold on. So she's like, "I got you, buddy. I got you pegged." I'm not gonna play the kitchen scene. No worries. Okay. Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure. Alright, this is quantitative service policy.
Sorry. Tell Wayne I'd like to see him, please. Which Wayne? How many Waynes are there, Marcia? 2. Oh, yeah, sorry.
So she's so frustrated with the whole situation that I think she's gonna start snapping at everyone that's in our way today. You know what I'm saying? Like poor Marsha. Marsha. And again, this is quantitative service policy.
Wayne Harkness. I'm sorry. Wayne Harkness. Office, please. Wayne Harkness.
So yeah. So she calls Wayne to the office. She's like, she can give him the check. And here I go. This is quantitative service policy.
Yes, ma'am. Oh my God. Wayne. You okay? Yeah, just lost in my own thoughts. Yes, ma'am. I mean, $25,000 is a lot of money to come up with at one time. Even if it is a good deal. Yes, ma'am.
I don't know how Wayne is not catching on to her sarcasticness or her afraidness of the situation, and the fact that he's still willing to put her through this. Like, what kind of guy would do that of a widow to, find these parts and then, because I think starting off, I don't think Karen thought that she was going to get in so deep. And then as she got in, she kind of realized, uh-oh, I am in too deep and now I figured out what's going on. So I think that, at this point, she's just like so frustrated with the whole situation. She just kind of wants it to end. So, and again, this is quantitative service policy.
It's a good deal. Great one. Worth every penny. It's hard to part with, you know? This makes it official, right?
So they're looking at the check, he's looking at the check, and he's like, so this makes it official, and she's like, kind of like, what am I doing? Even though that she wants to get it done and over with, she's like, what am I doing? I can't believe I'm going through with this. I can't believe how deep I'm in it. So, and again, this is quantitative service policy.
This is our big day. It is. Sure is. You okay?
So again, I wanted to play that because she says it's our big day, and she goes, it sure is. So again, this episode is all in one day, to where the other episode would be like a couple of days, and this is just one day. And the fact that the auto parts is gonna go down, so
If he is only made.
I'm not gonna play that. Um, And then Wayne scares her again. She's being followed. And then, okay, here we go. We'll go here. And again, this is Constitution 30 policy.
I told you they were bad. Smile that pretty.
This is Constitution 30 policy.
Smile and the judge will hold them over for trial.
Well, I tell you what. If you're right, I'll take you to
Darren, what are you doing?
What are you doing? He's following me.
I told you they were bad.
Oh, for God's sake, don't lecture me now. My God, it's him.
Karen, call me later. I told.
So I guess it pays to have a boyfriend in the FBI or federal prosecutor. You can just run up to his office. And again, I say, where's security? Like, how does she get up there? How does Joe get up there with no security? So, how? How is that possible? I don't understand. And again, this is Constitution 30 policy.
Told you right from the beginning.
Matt, do something. Okay, mister. I know you may be crazy, but you're not crazy enough to do anything in the office of the United States Attorney. Not in front of...
She's quite a driver, Mac.
So she realizes that the guy that was following her was hired by Mac. And so she's like standing behind him for him to comfort, for him to protect her, which is the picture that's on the screen. That's this scene. So that's that. And again, this is Constitution 30 policy.
Huh?
When? When?
Huh?
When?
When? Oh,
When?
Tonight at 9 o'clock.
I think that this is a little work off this scene right here between Mac and Karen. I don't think between Michelle and Kevin. I don't think that. Mac and Karen, Michelle and Kevin. Both MKs. Interesting. Anyways, I think that they work this scene because they do have a tendency to talk over each other. And I think that Michelle has a tendency to talk over everyone. So this just kind of shows that. And again, this is in Constitution 30 policy.
Let me ask you something. After this deal goes down, what were you going to do? Make a citizen's arrest?
No, I was going to tell you about it.
When? 9 o'clock's in 4 hours.
Well, I just found out about it. I mean, I just
Let me ask
found
you
out
one more
about it.
question.
What is that?
After you told me, what do you think I was going to do?
Be there. Get cops there. Arrest the guys when they delivered the stolen parts.
Mamma mia, you...
So basically, he's telling her that's not going to happen. Because he can't do that. You can't tell them, you can't be dating someone and have the cops show up and get him involved. That's like basically illegal. So again, it's the legality versus immorality, like how Emily G. Baker talks about. Like, he can't go in there, even though he thinks it's morally right, he can't go in there and save her because he is in office and he will get in trouble. And I don't think, this is where I don't know if she realizes it or not at this point. And again, this is Constitution 30 policy.
Okay. What is going on? You don't want to know.
Her hand is still hurting her from when she hung over. It's hilarious. Alright. This is in Constitution 30 policy. This is still Mac, Karen, and Joe in Mac's office.
Who brought it up first?
I guess I did.
So it's kind of funny if you're watching this. He's asking her questions, but he's also making eyes at her, which I think is hilarious. So he's trying to treat her like a prosecutor because of what happened, but yet he's thinking, I'm falling in love with this woman, my gosh. And again, this is according to YouTube series policy.
I said something about how expensive parts were, to buy from the jobber, and find a good deal somewhere. If he could get us a cut rate if we bought in volume.
What else?
Just, keep it calm.
What else? Don't look at me. Tell him. What else?
Joe is on Mac's side and Karen's not having it. She's not happy at all. LOL. And then this is according to YouTube series policy.
I said I would pay cash if he would get the right price. And I wish you'd stop playing prosecutor with me.
Karen, I am not playing prosecutor.
Oh, what does that mean?
Tell her. You trapped Harkness.
Well, that was the whole idea.
You know what entrapment is?
Yes, I know what entrapment is, but I'm not a cop.
But I'm a federal prosecutor. Think, Karen.
So again, this is where he's telling her what's gonna happen. But again, I think she knew. And again, this is according to YouTube series policy.
The day you promoted Harkness was the day after our first date, right?
Right.
Then you fired Gary. You told me all about it.
Yeah.
So I remember.
So
you turn around and have this guy buy you a load of stolen goods, and then when they're delivered, who's standing there? Me, federal prosecutor. Their lawyers will have them out in 5 minutes.
you didn't have anything to do with it.
Tell it to a judge!
And this is when Karen realizes what happened, and I'll just let this play out. And this is according to YouTube series policy.
Oh, my God.
Mac, is there anything you can do now? Yes. I can have Miss Fairgate here arrested for conspiracy to transport.
So basically, he's telling them that she could get arrested. However, she doesn't get arrested. She's at knotslanding Motors. And I'm not going to play a whole bunch of that because we all know what happened. Angelo shows up, the guys leave, Angelo leaves. I just want to play this last scene. Alright, here we go. And this is according to YouTube series policy.
Ask them to find.
This is according to YouTube series policy.
Richard. Oh, Richard. Oh.
So in the end, I called a cop friend of mine, asked him to find out what he could about a shipment of stolen parts coming into Knotslanding today.
I thought nobody knew about it.
Right.
So Mac, they call an informant to tell him to go talk to Angelo so that they could get him to come over to Knotslanding. So therefore, that's how Angelo found out. And again, this is according to YouTube series policy.
Hey, until word got out, then the stoolie got next to Angelo.
You really do say stoolie?
See, Mac's a traditionalist. He still says things like stoolie and heater and...
Yeah, and then once Angelo knew, then there was no way out for Roy or Frank or the other schlub.
Those hoods must be singing their hearts out by now.
Joe realizes what happened as Karen is just stuffing her face and not saying a word. And again, this is according to YouTube series policy.
You had this all figured from the start, didn't you? Oh, Joe, you've lost your mind. Now you're really letting your imagination run wild.
No. She had it figured from the start. She planned it. She set the bait. Wayne took it, and Roy and Frank took it, and so did you, Mac. And so did I.
You've lost your mind.
She had it figured right down to Angelo and the stoolie. She set it up so the crooks would take care of their own. You planned the whole thing, didn't you, Karen? Karen.
So she kind of knew. That's why I was like, oh, she knew about it. Because Joe told them that she all knew. So that was episode 5. So let's talk about it a little bit. Again, it's the culmination of the auto parts deal and the ending of the Sid. Sid is still mentioned, but now his arriving is kind of wrapped up with Wayne. obviously Wayne is no longer at knotslanding Motors, and we don't know who took over his part. And again, Karen and Mac are still building their relationship, and we'll see a little bit more in the next episode. And then Evan and Gary, so Evan and Gary. Richard has been focused on his restaurant, and Susie is still working on her career, and Kenny and Ginger are kind of helping with that. So, co-host, I don't know if you have anything to add, but I think that Karen knew what was going on the whole time. She sat the bait for them to go in and take care of their own without anybody getting involved. Because she figured that Mac would call and Mac would call anything, would call and has and for backup, to get them going, in my opinion. So again, while he was asking her questions, he was still like falling in love with her. So again, it's a legality versus morality with them, and that's my opinion. And again, the way that they fight is so different than the way that her and Sid fought. Like, it's almost like, and you get a payoff, you get a better payoff when Karen and Mac fight than when you see Sid and Karen fight. So, okay. So that's that. I just think that that was a good way to tie up that storyline, the fact that they had it all done in one day instead of spreading it out a couple of episodes or a couple of days. I think that it was really well done. So, and that brings us dun 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 to episode 6, New Beginnings. So in this episode, Gary is in Dallas for the reading of Jack's Will, and then we do see that he says goodbye to Bobby and Bobby's son. I want to say his name is Christopher, if I remember correctly, because I don't think they say it in knots, but I do remember that. I remember the name Christopher for some reason. And then we see that Abby shows up in Dallas to see him. And also, Val was in Dallas for her book signing, and it is in the same and is staying in the same hotel as Gary. Lilliemae shows up to talk to the owner of the publishing agency about Val and how well it's going for her, and wanted to share a letter with them. And Chip is excited about the letter, so Lilliemae reads the letter about all of her adventures that she's having. Karen and Mac are at her house, and he wants to go out to talk about getting away for a couple of days and camping because they are never alone. The boys agree, but Mac says that he wants Karen and him to go by themselves because they need some alone time. The boys are home from school due to a teacher's day. Diana is asking for money for Abby's kids for dry cleaning and to take them out for a cheeseburger. Karen kind of gives her a hard time, but she says, well, if it's for the kids, that's fine. And then she says, make sure that Abby pays it back. And Mac also gives Diana a hard time. Mac and Karen are alone now. Karen says, crippling, huh? Gary realizes that Abby is there and he is happy. Karen tells Matt to stop choosing Diana because she can't stand him. So Diana doesn't like Mac and um and encourages him to ask Diana what's wrong, and he agrees. Chip brings Lilliemae home. Abby and Gary are talking about the will, and he is not happy. Basically, he is only getting a certain amount every year as opposed to one lump sum. Chip returns back to his place that he has been sharing with his boss, and he gets kicked out and fired. And then he shows back up at Val's house looking for a place to stay, so he's charming his way into Lilliemae's life, and Lilliemae is surprised to see him and lets him in. Kenny is playing CG's tape for his friend, but even though she is good, he is not interested at this time. CG says that they can go to other labels. Gary and Abby are getting ready for dinner, and he's still upset. Val calls Lilliemae and offers to have her come out to Dallas, but Lilliemae said that it is okay, that she's fine at home. However, it is because she has Chip staying there right now, but Val does not know. Chip and Lilliemae are talking about him staying, and Lilliemae lies to Chip, saying that Val suggested that he stay there. Val gets room service. Not only is she in the same hotel, she is on the same floor as Abby and Gary. Gary tells Abby that he wants to go see his mom at the ranch before they leave. Next we see that Diana leaves Abby. However, who's staying with the kids? Do they have someone staying the night with her? How come Diana's not staying there? Mac and Diana talk about how she feels about him. She is not sure of him just yet because of the way he comes off all the time. Mac tells Diana that he knows she does not like her, and Mac asks Diana why don't they want to live with it, so basically get to know one another. Diana thinks that he is judgmental. Mac tells her that she is perfect and they call a truce. Abby and Gary are still fighting about the will. Oops. Hold on. JR comes into the hotel room to talk to Gary about going to see his mother and to make sure that he leaves on time. And Gary is not happy to see him. Gary is getting ready to see his mother, and Abby changed her mind about going to the ranch, and Abby tells him that she doesn't think he should go to the ranch either. Val is still signing books. Diana and Chip meet, and he charms her. However, Matt calls him a creep and ruins the truce between Diana and Mac. Abby is with JR, talking about how the limo is still outside the hotel, and then also the fact that Gary never showed up at the ranch. Abby tells him congratulations about the inheritance. Abby asks why Gary is dangerous to him, and he tells her that if Gary channels that energy, it can make a real hard time for him. Lilliemae finds something and wants to tell Chip. She starts straightening his room, and Chip finds her and yells at her, makes her feel bad. Chip and Lilliemae are back at the office he used to work for, and he is taking things. Lilliemae is worried and sees the security guard. Then they leave. Val sees JR for the first time and tells her that he owns the publishing company along with the rights of her book, and she is not happy about it. Mac is having dinner and telling him about his background and how he went to law school. And then I like this because it just says a lot about her, but Karen is wearing another tie. So every time I see a tie, I'm going to mention that. I think that's really cute. Um, Mac and Diana are right back where they started again. Oh, hey, we're almost done. Um, Abby and Gary are getting ready to leave, and he surprises her with a gift. He tells her that he loved the ranch, but hated being there. So basically, she went to the ranch in the taxi, but he never went inside. She goes up to get him. So I just put he left. He just left without going in. Lilliemae is making dinner for her and Chip. She goes up to get him and sees Diana in his room. She is hurt at this sight, and then Chip comes down to talk to her, and he realizes that she made him dinner, and then they eat the dinner. And so I just put that he's doing the charming charmster. Val and Abby run into each other by accident, and they talk about how success works on both of them. So I think that was really sweet. Um, but she wasn't happy that she ran into Abby. That's just my opinion. So here we have this is called New Beginnings. So basically, now that we tied up the Sid Auto Parts storyline, now we can focus more on the Mac and Karen of it all, which is going to be kind of fun. So they're trying to talk about the relationship. The kids are going to be more involved, and Diana's going to be heavily involved, as we'll see coming up. But Mac just has to win Diana over, and eventually she does in later episodes. And we'll see the camping. I think they go camping in the next episode, and then in the next episode after that, I think something happens, and that storyline will go further. We see Chip and Diana meet for the first time, and this will be interesting because this will be a storyline that continues throughout the rest of season 4 into season 5, which is gonna break my heart. It's gonna break my heart. But we have to get through the first breakup between Mac and Karen, which is in a couple of episodes, but don't worry, they get back together. Trying to think. We didn't really see a lot of Kenny and Ginger. We didn't see Richard and Laura in this episode. This is very Karen and Mac heavy, and Val, Gary, and Abby. Again, we see Gary and Abby in Dallas for the reading of the will. Abby went there to support him, and then we see Val in Dallas for her book tour. So, I'm gonna play some clips. Co-host, what's that face for, co-host? I know. These next episodes are gonna be kind of heavy. So we'll see. Alright. I'm not gonna play any of the Dallas scenes. But again, we'll see. Alright. This is in quantity to serious policy, and that's you. They're
tired of waiting.
So we kind of already see in this episode that Karen and Mac are already acting like a married couple, and saying we never get any time alone. But I know Mac and Karen, but they're acting like a married couple in this episode. I don't know. I'll play some scenes and you can kind of think about it. It's like he's trying to get into the kids' good graces. Eric and Michael love him, but Diane is not sure. So I think if you right, if you know, you know. Um, it's a not concern of it all for me. I don't know why. It's just it's I don't know. I don't know what it is about Mac and Karen. There's just something there. I don't know if it's the chemistry or what, but it really like messes with my high sensitive pers- personality senses. So basically, what happens, and this is gonna sound really weird, what happens is I can take on people's emotions, whether they're in real life or on TV or on podcasts. I can take them. I'm a high sensitive person, so that affects me. So I've come to realize that I cannot watch knotslanding. Um, I cannot watch knotslanding at night because I can't go to sleep because my brain will go, and it's mostly due to Mac and Karen. It's not due to any other people or couples. It's just something about I don't know if it's something about Karen or if it's both of them. It's just my brain just is wired to where I'm very like high sensitive, and I think that that's for some reason it just hits me in a different way than it does other people. And it's not necessarily empathy, it goes beyond empathy because I can do this in real life. Like, I just get chilled, I take on other people's emotions, it is empath, but it goes far beyond that. And it's a part of my disorder, like the brain, the way that my brain is wired and all that stuff. I just learned a lot about it. So in my mind, I take on people's emotions, and it's just like physical. It's not like it goes beyond empath. Like, it's almost physical. And if I'm in the middle of a confrontation, I don't like it. I just shut down. I'm tired after it. I just want to hide and cry. And just like gets to me in a way that I don't think it gets to like a normal person, because I just take it all in, and I'm an old soul at that too. So with that being, um, with it being an old soul, I think that's a little bit more. And again, it has something to do with my disorder and with all the surgeries I've had, and with being put under for 10.5 hours. That does something to you. And it just messes with your brain. I don't do normal medication. It doesn't work for me. I just have to figure things out. And right now we're going through medication changes to see what's going to work. And I have to go see a specialist. But yes, it goes far beyond an empath. And so I say all that to say I don't know if it's the Karen for me, this version of Karen, or if it's the Karen and Mac of it all for me. And I think because it's this Karen, it's both of them together, and that's where I can kind of really see myself as more independent, more like Karen, as she is right now with Mac, as opposed to when she was with Sid. And again, the payoff between them fighting is a lot better than when Sid and Karen fought. I don't know. That's just me. I kind of went on a tangent there. So here we go. And again, this is according to future fairness policy. Let me go back a little bit.
Thank you. Oh, you're very welcome.
Alright. Alright, this is according to future fairness policy.
Why do we have to go out to eat? There's plenty of food here.
this is according to future service policy.
If we're gonna have lunch, we've gotta go.
Why do we have to go out to eat? There's plenty of food here.
Because we're never alone here, and I want to talk to you about something.
We're alone now.
I want to go away for a couple of days, maybe on a camping trip.
So again, they're kind of talking like a married couple, and the boys are walking in. So they're getting used to Mac being there all the time, and the boys are like, camping trip, I want to go. It's kind of funny. And they're already seeing him like as a stepfather, but now they're friends, but again, they're kind of rom-com, acting like a married couple. And again, this is according to future service policy.
Hey, Trev, hey, that's a great idea.
When? Yeah, it is a good idea, but without you guys.
Why?
Because your mother and I'd like to spend some time together without looking at your ugly faces. What are you doing out of school anyway? Or some kind of teacher's conference or something.
Well, Mom doesn't even like camp.
So he's already acting like a stepfather. He's like, why are you guys out of school? Anyway, it's kind of interesting. He's already acting like a father figure in that house, which I think is hilarious. And again, this is according to future service policy.
Oh, by the time she gets back, she will. Come on, I haven't got all day.
Mac is thinking one thing, Karen's thinking it also, but they're not. She's not sure about it. Because we saw in last season how she was asked to go away for the weekend, but she declined it, and now she's thinking, should I go, not go, that kind of thing. So we'll see what happens. And again, this is Constitution Service Policy.
Why do we have to go out to talk about camping?
Because we're never alone here. Why want to go away?
We're alone now. Mom, I need $20. I have to go to the...
In comes Diana. She has to go to the dry cleaners to get stuff for the kids and to go take them out to eat. And again, this is Constitution Service Policy.
Cleaners asked me if I could pick them to a hand.
I kind of skipped over that part because it's kind of not important. And again, this is Constitution Service Policy.
Now, are you ready?
We're alone. Camping, huh?
Yeah, I think you'll love it. It'll give us time to get to know one another, huh? Apart from our work, home.
Camping, huh?
So again, he wanted to kiss her, but I think that they held off on that right now. But Karen's not sure about going. Tennessee, that's a sign. Oh, here we go. And again, this is Constitution Service Policy.
It's not that I don't like your kids. I think they're great. It's just that we really haven't spent much time together.
Mac, I think you should stop teasing.
So Karen thinking that Mac doesn't like her kids. However, that's not it at all. But Karen is concerned about him and Diana. And again, this is Constitution Service Policy.
Come on, she knows I'm only kidding.
She doesn't like you.
That's a little strong, isn't it?
No, it's often that she can't stand you.
No.
Yes.
Why?
I don't know. Ask her.
I will.
She likes to deal with things head on.
So again, Karen just telling him to ask Diana why she doesn't like him. Just bear with me. Alright, here we go. And this is Constitution Service Policy.
Good night, Brian. Good night, Olivia.
Diane, wait a minute. Can we have a talk? Huh? Mother thinks that you and I should have a talk.
About what?
Well, it's not about dry cleaning or the price of hamburgers. She thinks that you don't like me. And I told her that she was wrong. She's not wrong. Why?
I don't know exactly.
Diana's having a hard time with Mac, because I think that Diana is afraid that this could be long term and that she wants the best for her mother, and she's thinking that maybe Mac is not it. So therefore, she's just kind of being standoffish, about it, in my opinion. And again, this is according to teacher Terry Fawcett.
Your style, maybe? The way you're so sure of yourself? I wouldn't let it bother you, though. It just rubs me the wrong way, that's all. Anyway, it's my problem, not yours.
Now, wait a minute now. I'm very fond of your mother, and if there's a problem with her kids...
Not kids. Eric and Michael think you're great. They love your wisecracks.
Well, then if there's a problem with you, it's going to turn into a problem with her.
I guess we just have to learn to live with it, then.
Why don't we learn to deal with it, then? Come on. What is it you don't like? You say I'm too sure of myself.
So he asked her, what is it that she doesn't like about him? And then they kind of go back and forth, and this is where she says that he's judgmental and sometimes a creep about things. So then they call truce. I'm not going to play the whole thing. It's really not. And that's it. That's all I wanted to play. Oh, hold on. That's all I wanted to play. So again, you can kind of see the culmination of the Mac and Karen relationship. You kind of see that Mac cares about what Karen's kids think of him, and Karen wants Diana to like him so they can move forward in their relationship. So that's what's going on in Knotslanding, season 5 and 6. Episodes 5 and 6, not season. So we know that eventually Karen and Mac will get together long term. And we know that Chip is doing the transfer and is lying to everyone that he comes into contact with just to figure out what he wants to do. And, like Michael Savantino, who plays Chip in Tony Canoes, said that almost on every show that he's been on, he's been the villain, which I think is kind of interesting. So that's fun. And I don't think Val is learning how to stand up for herself, but then we do see. I'm watching that episode ahead because, like I said, I love this show now, so I'm just kind of continuing to watch. But Val has another setback. Gary has another setback because of what Abby's going to do to him coming up in the second half of season 4. So that is interesting. And again, we're not seeing a lot of Kenny and Ginger. Kenny and Ginger are kind of sort of fading out, and we'll see why when at the end of the season. And we didn't see Richard and Laura at all in this episode. So again, it's focused mainly on Karen and Mac, and then building their relationship. And then there's like a really fun episode right after this that we'll do tomorrow or Saturday. Well, we'll probably do tomorrow. I don't know if I'm gonna go live go live on Saturday because I have something. I'm supposed to go somewhere, so I don't know what that's going to look like. But we will cover 7 in either tomorrow or Sunday. And in the meantime, co-host, are you excited for the Karen and Mack of it all to get more interesting? I know. That's going to be very interesting. I'm just so excited to talk about it with y'all. And again, don't forget that We're Not Done Yet podcast is linked below, will be linked below. The CG Circle channel and the No Escaping the cul-de-sac will be linked below. And then don't forget to do the YouTube thing, like, share, subscribe, comment, and share it out. And co-host, what do you think? Anything to add? I know this episode was kind of like I said, it was the end of the said storyline auto parts, and then the beginning of Mack and Karen. There was a big focus on Mack and Karen. And then Diana. Diana's storyline is gonna come up too as well. Which I said, it's gonna be quite interesting. So co-host, you got anything to add? And again, don't forget, I know that captions will be on the video, so if you can't hear me or understand me, I would say come back once the captions are there, and it does take a little bit of time to process them. So once they are processed, you're more than welcome to come back and watch it. And then don't forget that you can click on this CC and it'll just pull it back up. And the captions are there from the last live that I did. So, again, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment. And I want to know your thoughts about Mack and Karen. So comment down below. And again, the We're Not Done Yet podcast, CG Circle, and No Escape, the cul-de-sac will all be linked down below. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great night. And if I don't see you guys, have a great Friday, Saturday. And like I said, we'll see where I'm at when tomorrow, if I feel like coming out. Been dealing with a crazy migraine. So, y'all have a good night, okay? Bye.